one here is called Saving Seeds. And this here is, I mean, this is quite a significant piece for me because I had my father was quite sick, and I knew that he was terminally ill, and I knew it was not going to be around for much longer. And I wanted to do something for him, so this was done as a tribute to him. I mean, I tell people, I mean, my father never had much, but all that he had, he gave to us, his family. So this was like a tribute to him. Unfortunately, he passed away before it was finished, but he knew that I was working on this. So there's a lot of sentimental value to it there. I mean, this is like a huge wave, almost like a big vortex of some watery kind of thing. So, but I look at this like it's like the difficulties that life throws at you. But in as much as life was difficult, he never really allowed that to prevent you from being the best father that you can be. This here, the physical structure of this figure, it no represents my father physically. Because he was he was quite short and very wide and so.
What?
That's good. I grew up in a little village called Carriacaria, but to be more specific and I say precise, and I like to be this, the place is actually called Castellani, where I was born. And I tell people, I am very particular in saying that I was born there in the bush. All of my siblings were born at some hospital somewhere. I was just born right there in the bush. You know, my neighbor string, that's it. My neighbor string buried down there in the jungle somewhere. And if you should go there today, that exact spot where I was born, you would see absolutely not. Nobody ever lived there because it's all reclaimed by the jungle, which is quite a nice thing for me to know and to think about, you know, because I have this idea sometimes. I do a piece of sculpture and I like to leave it out there and allow nature to do what nature does, reclaim things. And I like to think that we come as presence. We're presence. We're human beings in the face of this earth, and we do not come and go easy. We create havoc and wreak destruction and all sorts of harm and chaos we create. You know? But then we have just for a short time we disappear. Eventually, I tell things like nature reclaims it all. Our face might be left with scars that we would have placed there. But in the end, we are the ones who will disappear. All of this that you see here, this is what I call sawdu. Sawdu now is coined from sawdust, dough, and glue. So it's a dough made of sawdust and glue. So I call it sawdu. This here, this is a combination of this sawdu and wood splinters actually. Okay. So it's very flexible, but it's pretty strong. I mean, this is green hard splinters. This is the sawdu, but there's a structure inside of wire mesh, like chicken mesh. So you gotta have that to sort of build on. Back in '99, I was in Belize, and we were at this sculpture called the Art Park, Postinian. And Postinian is like you just had to find whatever was there and make art with it. Whether it's a bird, whether it's a water, whether there is trees or whatever. Well, I work with a tree. So I carved a huge axe coming out of one branch. The tree was like divided in three separate branches, one going this, one going, and then so I took the one in the middle, which was the bigger one, and I carved a huge axe with 2 hands gripping it like, and then on one of the main parts of the trunk, You had like a face of like, because the axe was like coming down right in the middle. So when I was done with it, the guy who owned the land, he said, so what can we do to preserve this thing? I'm like, we don't do anything to preserve it. This here, maybe after 10 years or so, it's all going to be gone, reclaimed by nature. And it's only then that my idea, the whole concept that I'm dealing with, would have been fully expressed. Yes, I tell people for as long as I can remember, and I can remember quite way back. But my mother thinks that it's impossible for me to remember some of the things that I would talk to her. She said, but you don't remember, you were about 2 years old. I'm like, but I do. Yeah, so I always remember myself whittling away at something, even before I could handle a knife or a blade quite well. His finger got a little bit twisted. I took up a little piece when I was maybe about 3 years old. My father's cutlass, he just sharpened it, and I'm always looking for the sharpest edge that I can find. And he's like, you just stick it to sticks, and you're like, you don't touch it. Then he turns his back. Yeah, and I took out a little piece, and I got a good whooping for it. But so I was always making something. I drew very well from a very young age, but I mean, looking back at my life now, I tell you, I was always a sculptor because I was always most comfortable with building something in the ground. So I remember saying this before. If you should dissect me by, you know, it's like every little cut that you take from me, every little slice, you're going to see mark there, sculptor. Because I've always been a sculptor. I like painting, I like graphics, I like drawing, I like just about everything. And everything that I did, I excelled in. So at the time when I'm supposed to major in something, all of my tutors were like, well, yes, you're going to be a graphics major, you're going to be a drawing major, you're going to be a painting major, you're going to be... I mean, at the end of the day, I had to decide what it is that and I knew that I was most comfortable with sculpture, because if I painted, if I drew something, I always had this desire to turn it around and see how it is, or what is it that existed behind this, this illusion.
2 dimensions.
Yeah, that's there. So I was always thinking in 3 dimensions. So even today, I have this. I've said this many times. I want to do an exhibition, a painting exhibition. But every time I think of it, and I put ideas, it turns out that's sculpture. But I was thinking one of these days I'm going to do an exhibition of paintings.
Surprise everybody.
Yeah, because I have this. It's got to do with where I came from. Also, I have this thing beside this title already for this. It's called Blackwater Spirit. Yeah, because there's so many things that I see when I go to the creek and nobody takes notes, nobody even understands, You see it and you're like, this Blackwater Creek is God's spirit. What I've done in terms of sculpture, I remember my tutor always saying, Winslow, just sculpture is about mass and volume and form. And she was trying to drill that into me. I'm like, I totally get you. I understand what you're saying. But you have to understand where I'm coming from also. I want to understand forces that controls this mass and this volume and this form, you know? The force that acts within and without that allow these forms to exist in this three-dimensional space. What are you talking about, you know? Oh, she didn't see the get. So when you look at what I've done, it's like I'm taking a form and then like I'm like eating into it and just arriving with the mere essence of what this form would have been. And these things are reflective of nature itself. You think about a storm moves in this huge, powerful spiral motion. And then you maybe think of water at its most gentle. It's just a little drop that's going to drop. You know, a little drop that's going to fall there, and eventually it's going to build up something. It's going to, like I said, one drop of water constantly falling on the stone, it's going to erode it after time. You know? So I have that little end, which is like symbolic of a little rocklet sometimes. So you have these references to like forces, elements of nature. Like I always think to myself, if I could sculpt fire, if I could sculpt smoke, if I could sculpt water, that would be the ultimate. But only God can do that. It's difficult for me to, you know, if a young person asks me, well, should I pursue this? It's difficult for me to say yes, go pursue it, because I know it's not an easy career path. You really have to be committed from the heart. You have to be an artist from deep within. Because I do this not because I want to sell something. You know, I do this because I have to. It is if I do not do this, then that spirit that is in me, that creative spirit, something is going to happen, which is not. You know, so it's like, in order for me to exist as or live as a being, I have to be art, and that was always there, it seems. And it's almost like there is a path that has been laid out, and I'm just led along by this artistic stream.